Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Aloha. Today we're going to show you how we prepare one of the King Kole that we shot. So right here, I'm just going to take off the fillets. So I start by scoring the edge of the fillet, just making light cuts. I make the cut all the way up the spine and at the gut. Drive the knife through, draw it to the back of the tail. I just grab it, put pressure on, slightly angle the knife up, cut through. Now I'm going to remove the fillet. Then I'll just do the other side. Notice I'm doing it on a paper towel. I prefer to do it this way. It keeps it nice and steady and also keeps the board clean. Uh, Keeping the board and the knife clean are really important, especially if you're making sushi. What we're going to do here today is we're going to make a modified poke. Taking the second fillet off. Now what I'm going to do is there's some meat left on the bone, and I'm taking a spoon and I'm going to scrape it. And this is going to go into the poke. We don't waste anything. The carcass is either going to go back in the ocean for chum, or we're going to use it in our compost pile. On the bottom left of the picture, you can see the little avocado wood dish we turned. Scraping the bones is a good way with a spoon to get is a good way to get all the meat off, so we get absolutely everything. I'm gonna dump it. Now I'm gonna remove the fillet from the skin. Just grab the edge, run the knife along the bottom of the skin, pulling the skin just like a tab, and the fillet will come right off. Do the second one. Notice the nice white meat of the King Kole. It looks really good on sushi. Okay, I'm going to remove the top part, cutting right along the pin bone. Searching for the bones, cutting that out, cutting along the pin bone, get the second fillet. And do this for both fillets. Now you notice I didn't cut along the rib bone. I'm taking the whole piece off because there's really not much there. I mean, I could scrape it, but I'm just going to use it for chum. So that's going to help with our fishing. I'm going to cut it into small pieces here, little bite-sized pieces. Notice how nice and white that looks. The King Kole is really beautiful meat. It's definitely an underrated fish, and it's very plentiful, so we don't feel bad about taking them. The fishery for this fish is very healthy. I'm going to take all the meat, including the ones I scraped. And I'm going to get some sesame oil from the fridge. So use my hands, work your way into the oil into the meat. Adding a little bit more. It's a little too dry. And look at that color. It looks really awesome. Now we're going to add some sriracha. Spice it up a little. And I love the nice orange color of it. Looks great. So what we're going to do with this poke, it's going to be a topping on our salads. So right now I'm pulling an onion out of the fridge and we're going to cut that up. I'm just going to slice off one small little section. And we're going to dice this fine. It's really important for this type of recipe is to dice it as fine as possible. Getting rid of the skin of the onion. Just peel it off. And just gonna dice it up fine. Make sure the board is clean, so none of the skin gets into the poke. So this will take a while. I'm gonna skip, dicing it up nice and fine. If you like it chunky, you can leave it chunky, but I find that the texture is a lot better when it's fine. So I'm going to add it to the poke. Massage it in. And not waste any of it. Take a little taste there. Tastes perfect. It's really important to massage the ingredients in. Taking a few cherry tomatoes from our garden. And we're going to dice this up also very fine. Normally, you don't put tomatoes into poke, but we found that it adds a nice little tang to it and also gives it really good color. So right now, everything so far, other than the oil and the white onion, is from our garden or the fish we caught, which you saw in a previous video. Again, it's personal preference how fine you want to make it. I prefer it very fine. Again, massaging it in. Check out that color, it looks really great. You don't have to worry about the seeds because it's, you know, cherry tomato. Everything's really small. I'm just gonna add one more. Could use a little bit more color. Put that in. Really like our cherry tomato plant. We just let it grow wild. And we always have tomatoes. Okay, I take some cilantro from our garden, chop that up fine. Now, once you add all these ingredients, it's important to let the poke rest in the refrigerator for at least an hour. The longer, the better. And it's also very important to cover it with either a paper towel or prefer saran wrap. There you go. It's almost done. Looks pretty good. Almost like a salsa. So there's one final step. I'm going to add some Hawaiian salt. And this time, I'm going to stir it with a spoon. I'm just going to take a pinch of it, coat the surface of the poke, and stir it with the spoon. The reason why I'm going to use a spoon is to not get all the cilantro on my fingers. I should have done that the first time. So that's it. King Kole poke with vegetables from our garden. Thanks for watching, and aloha.